Hello and welcome back to Pentiment, a medieval narrative adventure. In the previous episode, I found a note in my room written by the same person who had warned me never to return to Tassing. I wandered around the abbey to see how things had changed in 7 years, ran into Sister Zadina and found out that choosing the option to kiss her had gotten her pregnant and that she'd used herbs to give herself a miscarriage. I ran into former Prior Ferenc, who was angry that I had told the Archdeacon about his occult dealings. I fed a cat, and Guy told me that the abbot had closed the shrine of St. Moritz and would no longer allow the locals to pray to the saint's relic. I bought a book from the abbey library for the printer's daughter, and I also found a book written by the same person who had written the notes of warning and the notes that had lured Baron Rothvogel to his death, but I still don't know who that person is. I shared a meal with the printer, where I apologized for being a bad friend. One of his guests went into labor, and I recommended the village midwife to help her rather than Dr. Stoles. I don't know what all of this is leading up to, but let's see what happens next on Pentiment. Well, first of all, I want to see if I can find Brother Idoc and ask him about the book that we found, the burned book that we found in the library. We couldn't talk to him the other day because he was in the middle of eating lunch. But he was out near the scriptorium before lunchtime. So let's see if we can find him out there again. There he is! Alright, let's ask him about the book. Is that you again, Andreas? Yes, brother, I have a book I wanted to ask you about. Oh, I'm afraid I may not be of much help. I can barely read anymore. I can describe it to you. It's a book of Origen's homilies. I don't know if that's Origin or Oregon. Is it GIF or GIF, right? There's a G in there. I don't know how to pronounce that. But anyway, written in a fine book hand. And it is singed around the edges. Oh, he knows about that. Yes, you know it. Do you know where it came from and who wrote it? Andreas, forget this book. Oh, that's not likely. Why? Say nothing. I'll say why. It came from a place of fire in a terrible darkness. What does that mean? This cover, these leaves, they bear the marks of a great evil that was done. A soul can also bear such marks, carry them for a lifetime. Whose soul? The person who wrote the book? There is a presence that watches over this place, Andreas. A presence that wishes for things to remain as they are. What? Okay, years ago, Smokey Kohler told me a story about a ghost in the Roman ruins. Oh yeah, and I saw the ghost too. Sister Marguerite told me that before the Baron was murdered, she smelled the devil's presence at Kearsarge. Well, she smelled somebody in her bedroom, or the dormitory that she shares with the other nuns. She smelled someone in there, and I think she smelled them the same night that a mysterious letter was delivered to her. So she must have smelled the person delivering the letter. A presence? What do you mean? Oh gosh, which one do I want to talk about? Alright, I'll talk about the ghost in the ruins, since I saw that as well. I'm surprised it doesn't give me the option to say that I also saw a ghost out there. But okay. Is that what you mean? I cannot say any more, Andreas. I'm sorry. I understand. Really? Why you can't tell me any more? Why not? Why can't you tell me any more? I dare not, for your own good. God protect you. You as well, brother. Oh, come on. Oh, that's all I'm going to get. And I'm going to get nothing but God bless out of him. Dang it. Oh, God, I'm so bummed. And he didn't give me any kind of hint as to who I could talk to about this book besides him. He just doesn't want me to talk about it at all. Alright, well, Claus also mentioned something about preparations for St. John's Festival. So let's go check out those preparations. Because I don't know what else I could possibly do in this game. I've already run around and talked to everybody I could find. So about the only other thing I can think of to do is to do what Claus said and check out preparations for the festival. Ooh. Everyone seems to be working hard for the bonfire tonight. The commons look festive, decorated like this. Look at all the flowers, Master, and the bonfire is huge. How's the fire coming? Those logs work out all right for you, Andres? Coming along as proposed, nearly finished, all is in place. I was distracted because I was watching the folks in the background. They were taking that lady to the midwife, I think. Yeah, that's the stonemason's house, and he's married to the midwife. Good, good. All right, everyone. Remember, after the bonfire tonight, we celebrate as usual. We will all gather in the woods, and the women will collect herbs as tradition demands. Otto, the abbot has forbidden harvesting in the forest. Please, for everyone's sake, reconsider your actions. Thank you, Father, but the abbot's order goes against God's law. The forest belongs to all of us, as do all its game and fowl and fish. He cannot claim ownership over that which the Lord gave us to hold in common. Yeah, that's a good point, Otto. No, I'm sorry, Father. We'll proceed as planned. Tassing has never let anything get in the way of our St. John's customs, as long as I can remember. We won't start now. And remember, tomorrow I will show you proof that as sure as the sun turns round the earth, God and our saints are with us. Good day, Andreas. Hello, Brother Woislav. Oh, he's over there standing next to Sister Matilda. We know about them. They've got a thing. You looked upset at Otto's announcement. Is everything all right? Otto is becoming more aggressive in his defiance of the abbot. Father Gernot will not take this news well. The abbot doesn't like the festivities? Well, who's telling? How could the abbot stop them? He can't exactly chase them all out of the woods himself. Yeah, I'll say that. Father Abbot knows force is not the only way to get people to behave. How do you think he came to his position? Fair point, but why is the abbot so angry about it? Didn't you just hear Father Thomas, Andreas? The abbot declared the woods off limits. Anyway, it's not for me to say. I'm sure the abbot will tell you more. He sent me with an invitation for you to dine with him tonight. I'm sure the father will want to discuss the situation over supper. I don't want to have supper with the stupid abbot. I don't like him, he doesn't like me, and this is not going to go well. Of course, I'll attend. Thank you. I suppose I can attend. You're kidding. What does the abbot think he can pry out of me now? Well, I was hoping I was going to have a meal with Eisenkopf at some point. He's the tinker. He sounded like an interesting guy to hang out with. But I don't know if I'll get a chance to do that. I'll just say I suppose I can attend. Does the invitation extend to Casper as well? I'm sorry, Andreas, but Father Abbot has asked you to come to his house alone. That's rude. Phew. Oh, Casper didn't want to go anyway. Please tell the abbot I'll see him this evening. Well, I guess I'll see what all the fuss is about. I'll meet you back at the guest house after dinner, alright? Can I help set up the festival decorations while you're with the abbot? Yes, but be back before sundown, alright? Yes, thank you, Master. I'll see you later. Man, I just ate a meal. Now I gotta go eat a meal again? Meet the abbot for supper. No, I want to watch them dance. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is cool. Everybody's out in town here, and there's festive decorations all over the place. I love all of the wreaths and garlands. It's so cool. Oh man, but this is taking on a very Wicker Man feel here, isn't it? I don't know about all this. Is something creepy gonna happen tonight? Alright, who's this? Oh, I can't talk to. I thought it was over the little girl. No. Talk to Casper. You'd best not keep the abbot waiting. Go on, we'll meet up after supper. Alright, don't get into trouble. Who's this? Oh, Werner. Hello, Andreas. That's Dr. Stoles there, hanging out with the Tinker. There's Kat. Here's Till. Hey, Till. Hello, Master Mailer. And Andreas. And Brigitte. Hello. Alright, well, I guess all I can do is... Oh, I can go in the Zimmerman house. Oh, but Otto's out here. Oh, can I sneak in? Will there be anything interesting to find? Nope, doesn't look like it. Can I go up the stairs? Nope. Aw, I wanted to find the severed human head that he found. He told me he had a severed head. Where is it? Alright, well I guess I'll just go eat with the abbot. There's not really anything else I need to do. Let's see what the abbot has to say for himself. Is he going to be dining in his house? Or is he going to be dining in the refectory with everyone else? Oh, he's in his house. God bless you, Andreas. I'm glad to see you received my invitation. Are you ready to eat? Sure. I don't think there's anything else for me to do. Good. Andreas, welcome back to Kearsaw. Thank you for having me, Father. Hello, Father. I'll say thank you for having me, sure. I'm pleased you accepted my invitation. I know you are a busy man. Come, sit down and let's pray. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Lord, direct each of us here toward your wisdom, prudence, and guidance in our future actions. Through Christ our Lord, amen. Amen. He has got a fancy spread. I think this is the fanciest spread I've seen in the game so far. And I even dined with the Baron's wife at one point. He's got all kinds of goodies here. We had talked to the guy that worked in the kitchen in a previous episode, and he was saying that he had been learning how to fix all of these delicacies from around the world or whatever for the abbot. But that the other people, you know, all of the other monks and nuns and stuff, they weren't eating the same food. The abbot was eating special, fancy food, only the best for the abbot. Thank you for joining me. It appears you've done very well for yourself, Andreas. I hope you remember your time at Kearsaw fondly. You look well suited to your profession and fame. How have you been faring since your stay here? The city council did approve me as a master artist in Nuremberg, you'll be pleased to hear. I have a commission of Mary and Christ waiting for me in Nuremberg, but my patron wants to keep adding more of his associates in. I'm dreading going back to it. I spent most of my time doing commissions for various lords in England. Why are you so interested in my business, Father? I'll just say that I did some commissions in England, because that's part of the background that I chose at the beginning of Act 2. Ah, yes, their King Henry seems insistent upon insulting the Pope, despite his title as Defender of the Faith. Well, there wasn't nearly as much violence in England as there has been here, thank God. But I doubt my travels are why you asked me here. What is on your mind, Father? In truth, I had hoped to discuss the rising tensions between the Abbey and townspeople. Okay, I guess I have to be careful what I say here. Ah, look at that fancy wine glass, too. Made out of actual glass. Wow. I mean, glass is not a new technology at this point. It had been around since, like, ancient Egypt, I think. But still, a glass drinking vessel like that is something that only really wealthy people would have. The abbot is living fat off of his high taxes on the peasants while the peasants are starving. I'd like to clarify the situation for you, Andreas. Please, Abbot, I'm all ears. Clarify what exactly? Of course, just like you clarified that Piero was guilty all those years ago. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Fuck this dude. This is precisely why I asked you here. I am trying to prevent another terrible situation like that. I believe you've only heard from one side of the issue, Andreas. Otto's little speeches about taxes don't account for the entire situation. Why demand such high taxes then, Father? Select food item to eat. Alright, I get some Lebkuchen, plum pudding, pheasant. Oh, that's all I get. I can't extend my hand to anything else. Okay. I guess I don't get any of that strawberry tart over there or whatever it is. I will eat the pheasant. With the scriptorium closure, the taxes are necessary to make up for the lost income. Surely there's another option. Do you really need to raise taxes so much? Why not ask the bishop for help? Just because you decided to close the scriptorium doesn't mean the townsfolk should suffer. Monastic scriptoria have been falling out of fashion for a century. You didn't plan for the inevitable by preparing other revenue streams? Oh, that's unfortunate. I will use my craftsman's background and say this about the scriptoria and his poor planning. Curacao was different, Andreas. Until recently, the monastery had patrons like Lorenz to help keep it going. Oh, he's talking about Baron Rothvogel, but he's using his first name, Lorenz. Since then, I've been trying to find other revenue, but the other brothers won't cooperate or hear my ideas, especially Idoc. Brother Guy has gone over the expenses himself. Raising taxes is the best way to cover these costs. Oh, Brother Guy, of course. Brother Guy is a real jerk. He's Abbot Gurnot's toady here. But what about prohibiting the peasants from using the forest? That's a new restriction. I will eat my Lebkuchen. The forest belongs to the abbey, and the peasants have no right to use it. Legally, it's theft. It doesn't harm the abbey to let the townsfolk pick up sticks. Why bring the issue up with me, then? You need to talk to the townsfolk, not me. I don't have a stake in this. You're being a pedantic ass. Well, he is, but if I say that, I may not be able to make any headway on behalf of the peasants. I'm gonna ask why he's bringing it up with me, because I don't live here, and I don't have a stake in all of this. I don't have a dog in this fight. I've tried talking with Otto, but the man won't budge. I asked you here for your opinion on the matter, since the peasants refused to speak with me directly. I hear they will continue their disobedience by collecting herbs on St. John's Eve. The whole town knows I've forbidden it. The matter is grave, and I will excommunicate anyone who defies my order. You're just being a stubborn dick, dude. Like, honestly, letting the peasants gather herbs for one St. John's festival is not gonna damage your precious forest. You would condemn the town over something so petty? That certainly creates an ultimatum. That's insane. I'm gonna ask why he would condemn the town over something so petty. That is up to them. Remaining impartial will be impossible as long as you're in town. Support me in ending this foolish rebellion. Not in a million fucking years. You have a reputation in town, Andreas. You're a successful man, and the townsfolk believe they are like you. I'm kind of disappointed in this conversation. I understand why it has to be limited in scope because, you know, the game is what it is and it has its limitations. But there are so many things I could say. So many things I could talk about. Like, for instance, the fact that he is sitting here eating this extremely fancy meal and then saying that he doesn't have enough money and needs to raise taxes. I mean, it just pisses me off. I wish I could say more about the situation and about all of the details in the situation, but I'd like you to convince the other townsfolk, the printer for example, that this uprising is not in their best interests. The rest of the town will follow and the peasants will have no chance to resist. We can end this peacefully. I don't want the town to come to harm. It is a precarious situation, but I understand your point of view. No, I do not understand his point of view. Fuck this dude. The peasants have genuine grievances. Why not talk with them and negotiate? I want no part in this either way. I don't have a stake in this, and I don't want to make enemies. The peasants are right, Father. You have been too harsh on them. I won't help you. Damn your plan, and damn you, Father. Oh my gosh. I feel like if I say, why not talk with them, he'll just say again what he's already said, which is, I've tried talking and Otto is stubborn. And the peasants are right. He has been too harsh on them. Alright, but I'm going to ask one more time why he won't negotiate. I'm a forgiving man, but Otto's stubbornness has challenged even me. Otto is past the point of talking, Andreas. That's why I'm begging you for help in the matter. Please, take more time to think about it. I apologize. We must conclude for now. I must excuse myself. I am expected to lead a service at Compline tonight. Think on what we've discussed, Andreas. I trust you can find your way out. I will, Father Abbot. Good night. That was a really unsatisfying conversation because I feel like there was so much more that could have been said. Much more of an argument to be made, you know, and calling the abbot into account. Like, why is he sitting there drinking wine out of fancy glasses and eating pheasant while he's raising taxes and the peasants are starving? Like, that's not a man of God who's looking after his flock or whatever, you know, not looking after his congregation. You know, he's clearly someone who's abusing his power and station and has no regard for the people that are affected by his demands and, you know, who he's supposed to be caring for. He is supposed to be in service to others, not others in service to him. It's bullshit. Okay. Well, whatever. That was lame and it got me nowhere. Return to the commons. Alright, I guess I'll go back to the commons where the festival is happening. Is that what's going on here? Oh, there's the bonfire. Oh, that's pretty cool. Who can I talk to here? Carl? Evening, Andreas. Say, how do you like the bonfire? We built it nice this year, big and sturdy. It's a fine setup, Carl. Excellent work. It's not as impressive as the ones I've seen in Nuremberg. Oh, you don't have to be rude. I'll say it's a fine setup. I know we can't compare to where you come from, but we still give it our all in celebration of the light who prepared the way for our Lord. It kind of did a whoosh there, though, like it was one of those this will be remembered things, but then it didn't actually, I didn't see the this will be remembered thing. Anton, you remember Andreas Mailer, the master artist? Yeah, I've seen him around town. Son, be polite. Hello, Master Mailer, how are you? I am well, thank you, young man. Fine, I guess. It hasn't been great time back at Nuremberg. Shouldn't that be it hasn't been a great time back at Nuremberg? Now, this is a well-raised kid, does as he's told. I'll just say I'm well, thank you. Anton's a good boy, let me tell you. A bit of a rascal, as you can see, but he's got a good head and a good heart. Likes to hide it, though. Dad, will you stop? Easy to rile you up, just like your mother. How is Helena? Is she not attending the bonfire? So what do you think of the festival? I'll ask after Helena. She'll join us later. She went with Martha to dip their toes into the stream and to pick some flowers for the garlands and wreaths. It's important to hold to traditions. You're right, especially with the times we're having. Wreaths? Dipping in the stream? Aren't these pagan customs? I'll just say he's right. Besides, maybe Martha and Helena will come across the blossom of a fern out there. Haha. Blossom of a fern. What's so funny about that? Ferns don't flower. That means no power to speak with animals for you, boy. Don't worry, Anton. You can always get a garland with St. John's wort to ward off any demons and evil spirits. I doubt they'd have anything interesting to say anyway. I'll use my occult background and say you could get a St. John's wort garland. Yeah, got that, Anton? Make sure to keep your eyes open for those spirits walking the earth tonight. Evil spirits and demons. I've never seen any myself. And you won't have to if we're careful, my boy. The bonfire will frighten them off with the help of the Lord. That's why we have the feasts and celebrations. Speaking of, what do you think of the festival so far, Anton? Oh, I guess I'm asking that question anyway. It's fine, I guess. I like the fires when they are lit. The mountains get to twinkle like the stars. I don't like when people get drunk and rowdy as the night goes on. They get into fights and all. But your dad keeps the trouble away, yes? Oh, anyone in particular? Oh, yeah, I'll get some hot goss. Well, not as much lately, but Martin used to get in trouble. Anton's got a good eye. Martin's been a solid fellow once he came back, but he sometimes drinks too much. He's calmed down lately. You know, he used to be kind of a shit. Language, boy. God doesn't look kindly on blaspheming. Those are your words, Dad. Best you don't quote me. Quote the scripture instead. It's better for your soul. You listen to your father, Anton. This will be remembered. I will do. Jesus. Hey, what did I just say? Don't let your mother catch you with that mouth. Haha. Well, I'll let you get back to the festivities now. It was a pleasure. Until later, Andreas. Bye. Okay, I don't know what that was all about, but alright. I can talk to Casper. Master Andreas, look at how big the bonfire is. The decorations are so fancy. The St. John's Eve Festival is a big event for Tassing. I missed it last time I was here. Haven't you ever been to a festival like this, Casper? The festivals in Nuremberg are much bigger. Yeah, okay, enough of that. I'll be nice. No, I've never seen anything like this. Can I stay at the bonfire and see the costumes and watch them collect herbs, Master Mailer, please? Alright, but follow along and don't get in their way. I'm too tired for the festival. I think I'll just turn in for the night. No, Casper, it's late and I don't want to risk the abbot's anger. Let's just head back and go to sleep. No, I'll let the kids stay out. Yes, I promise I won't make trouble. I'll see you tomorrow, Master. Alright. And I can talk to Werner. Andreas. And Balthazar. Salutations, Andreas. Most wonderful to see you here. I see you two have met. What do you want with an inventor? can make all manner of mechanical contraptions filled with gears and levers and other such delights. Andreas here is a man of the mind. Why shouldn't he find interest in my work? For all the use it is. Yeah, see, that Dr. Stoles is a jerk. The mind of the inventor exists to create, to build, to go one step further. One step further toward the garbage heap. A very inspiring thought, Baltus. It makes sense you'd also be rude to your friends, Werner. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say that. What's that supposed to mean? Yes, Balthazar says. He knows what I'm talking about. Perhaps you will find a friend yourself someday, Master Mailer. Andreas, have you had the chance to look around town tonight? I imagine the sights could be inspiring to your artistic mind. Hastings certainly looks cheerful with the decorations and bonfire, or I can ask, what do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean? Well, look at the peasant ingenuity on display. The bonfire itself, for example. It is built to allow the air and heat to flow through it at great speed, and how it roars. It's a clever piece of construction, but Otto's a clever man. Yes, and? I'll say yes, and. Exactly. Gaze upon their skill at stacking logs upon logs, almost worthy of a university degree. These people have natural traditions. They've managed to figure out many clever things without even the most cursory education. It is knowledge that hails from preceding generations, lived experience passed along the chain of time. Not quite the knowledge of a rigorously educated mind, perhaps, but nonetheless useful. Our ancestors are smarter than us, not individually, but taken together. You don't need a university education to be smart. I just don't see the use for any of it. I'm not going to say our ancestors are smarter than us, but I'll say you don't need a university education to be smart. Of course you would say that. Neither of you know these people like I do. God has assigned them their place in the order of the world for a good reason. There is some merit in learning from the peasants, even you, Werner, given their understanding of herbal remedies. Their traditions are profane. Consider the Eve of St. John, tainted by their pagan rituals. It's an affront to Christ. St. Elijah warned against precisely this nearly 1,000 years ago. Where'd this newfound piety come from? You're really wound up about this, aren't you? I'll say where'd the newfound piety come from. Don't pretend to know anything about me. I've been on the pilgrimage to Aachen. Located at the western edge of the Rhineland, Aachen is an ancient city built around thermal baths. It houses the remains of Charlemagne as well as many other relics. Okay, well, hoity-toity. I have visited the Marian Shrine and stood in the presence of those holy relics. Alright, let's check again. Marine Shrine? An ornate golden reliquary in Aachen Cathedral. It holds the swaddling clothes and loincloth of Jesus, the Virgin Mary's dress, and the decapitation cloth of John the Baptist. Yeah, I highly doubt that. But okay. To be in the presence of St. John the Baptist's beheading cloth was an experience I will never forget. I've seen the reliquary several times on my visits to Antwerp. I'm glad you've had an experience. Your family must be proud. I'm familiar, thank you. I'll use my background and say I've also seen it. It seems to have done you little good. Perhaps you should visit again. Now, let us keep peace in our hearts as brothers in Christ. We're here to celebrate. I'll let you continue with your evening then. Good night. A very good night. Oh, and do come by my workshop, Master Mailer. I would love to exchange ideas. Yeah, you've already invited me over once before. I haven't had a chance to get over there and have a meal with you, my dude. Everybody else keeps making dinner plans with me. It would be my pleasure if I can find the time. Yeah, if I can find the time, I'll say it would be my pleasure. Splendid until then. Mailer. Yeah, Dr. Stoles is a real jerk. He's got his ideas about everything and to hell with everyone else. Oh, hey, Till. Oh, I get a whole conversation with him now, huh? Hello, Master Mailer. Evening, Till. Enjoying the festival? Very much so. I perhaps feel a tad old for the more active side of the celebrations, but I enjoy the sights and sounds. Did you know the word for the summer solstice leads back to the Romans? I thought you didn't read Latin. I may have heard that, yes. I'll say I may have heard that. Solstitium, the sun staying still in the sky, such as it looks like this time of year. A fitting allegory for the great cosmic arc of mankind, rise and fall. But to make up for that, dancing, leaping, songs, joy and mirth. People do seem elated, although I don't think the same applies to Abbot Grenot. But can all this really keep away the decline? I don't know if I want to mention Abbot Grenot. But yeah, let's see what he says. Otto's courting danger, I agree. Going against the decrees of the Abbey like so. The festival has always had a rebellious streak of jest and mockery. I don't see it as sacred as some. The church would disagree. We are to honor a major saint. It has to be sacred enough for the church not to condemn it as heretical. And what are we mocking? The fools of the community, most like. The vices folks get up to, especially those more important than us peasants. Overall, I think it brings people together. I wish I could read more about all this. Well, with the Abbey selling books from their library, I hoped I could get some for myself, but it proved to be far too expensive. Claus and his printings have proven to be of more use and a fair bit cheaper. Have you come across any interesting tales? Does this mean you've read the 12 articles? I'll just ask if he's come across any interesting tales. I have indeed, Master Mailer. Or I didn't quite understand everything. The text was in Latin. It was by a Roman named Strabo, and it was about geography. That's why I noticed it. I don't believe I've had the chance to read anything by him. It was a fairly complicated read, I must admit. The book was about many kinds of barbarians, which also included the Rati tribe I read about years ago. The people who used to live on this very land before the Romans arrived. He called this place Ratium, and described it as a cluster of daub huts, and its people hostile and warlike, only interested in hunting and fighting. There was something about Manus and his sons, but I couldn't understand a lot of it. In any case, when the Romans came, most of these locals were driven out, but some were captured to work in the fields and the mines. What happened to the locals who were forced out? What were they mining? Yeah, I'll say what were they mining? Salt, I guess. It used to be the backbone of this land. What happened to the locals who were forced out? Oh, okay, I get to ask that question. No idea. I would imagine that after the Romans were driven off, when their empire started falling apart, maybe the barbarians came back. But were they really the same people, or nomads from elsewhere? I guess we may never know. Thank you for the quick history. I'll let you get back to the festivities. Enjoy yourself tonight, Master Mailer. Until later. Well, I can talk to Brigitte now, and she's with Martin. Why, Martin, look who it is. Good evening, Andreas. Andreas, you're staying for the festival, I hope? Of course he's staying. Who would miss this, especially after you burly boys built such a beautiful bonfire? A burly boy like me would do anything for you, Dove. Couldn't help myself. Oh, he's being sweet to her. Brigitte, Martin, you're both feeling very festive, I see. The food, the fires, the dancing, it really is a night to enjoy. It's to honor the anniversary of the birth of Blessed John, a vigil for he who prepared the way. Yes, and he'd have liked everyone to have a good mood in their hearts, and good food in their bellies. As a hermit who wandered in the desert living off locusts and wild honey, he probably wouldn't agree. I'd like to live off some wild honey myself, if you catch my meaning. Oh my gosh, Martin. So are you going to heed Otto's call and go into the forest? Nort. I'll ask if he's going to go into the forest. No, I'm really not looking for trouble. There's enough of that going around. Right, I heard you've a tendency to get into trouble with drinking and brawling. Even though you supported him earlier during his speech. And you, Brigitte, not gathering any herbs? Well, I'll say even though you supported him earlier during his speech. He speaks his mind on what's important, but like I've said, I have no personal interest to provoke the abbot. We are God-fearing people, Andreas. I'm glad you're being sensible. What did you argue about with Otto anyway when I first saw you in the meadow? But Father Gurneau is an ass and he deserves what's coming. Do drunken brawls go under such piety? Some of these comments, you can really be a sassy bitch in this game if you want to, but I'm not going to. I'll just ask what they were arguing about in the meadow. Oh, nothing of note. Andreas, please, enough of this talk. We're here to celebrate. And Martin and I will dance until our legs begin to waver. Isn't that right? Would not miss it for the world. That's delightful. I hope you have a great evening. You as well, Andreas. Until later. I have a sneaking suspicion that that's not really Martin. Call me crazy, but he's much, much taller than Martin used to be. And yeah, I know Martin was young and maybe he grew while he was gone, but they also kind of made a big deal out of the fact that Martin had hay fever. Whenever he was in the meadow, he would sneeze. But that this version of Martin, the Martin that did return, does not have hay fever. And he told me a story that he had gone off to be a highwayman and that his partner had gotten killed. And so he decided to come back to town and help his family and be a good person again. But I'm wondering if this quote unquote Martin is actually the partner and that the real Martin is the one who got killed. And his partner just decided, this kid left a wife and a family behind, so I'm going to go back and pretend to be Martin, you know, and have a good life. And that's why he's turned over a new leaf and become a better person. I think that would be a really cool twist to the story. Alright, I think I've talked to everyone. What is this? This bonfire is much simpler than the one in Nuremberg, but it's pretty all the same. Yeah, okay, I get it. Nuremberg's better, alright, we get it. Alright, so where am I supposed to go now? Because they were kind of implying that I could wander around and, you know, see what happens while everyone's out celebrating. So where should I go to see what's going on? I think they mentioned going to the forest and the waterfall, so let's see what's happening out there. Oh no, this is Martin Bauer's farm, okay. Nothing happening here. Oh, here we go. Down to the forest. What's Smokey getting up to? Hey, Smokey. Oh, look at the fireflies. Oh, that's cool. Hey, Smoke. Evening, Master Mailer. You're not taking part in the festivities? I came to ask you the same. I didn't see you at the bonfire. Yeah, I'll say that. I could say I'm having a walk to clear my head, but I'll just ask him why he's not at the bonfire. I mean, he spends his whole life at a bonfire, so I guess it's not that big of a deal to him. I imagine it'd be a great chance to gather gossip. Plenty of gossip to go around if one keeps their eyes open in the forest tonight. It's an enchanted evening. As for your question, I get enough fire and smoke as it is. Yeah, that's what I just said. And some things haven't changed over the years. Folks still dislike associating with the burner. Other than Indris, he occasionally comes by, but I guess he has to keep good relations for his trade. That's the blacksmith. Aw, Smokey. I'll hang out with you. Oh, I forgot. People continue to be fools. I'll say that. True, but it doesn't matter. I don't care. I've made my peace with the matter. For me, it's a night like most others. I prefer staying sober and observing the townsfolk. Easier to get all the gossip for the year to come, you know? Besides, I reckon I'm growing too old for mischief. Best let others run around in their silly costumes. I think you still have some youth in you. You're not one for traditions? I'll ask you, you're not one for traditions. Less for rituals, I'd say. God knows what's in my heart. But I appreciate you coming by. I wish you a pleasant evening, Master Mailer. Until later. Until then. Alright, Smokey. Let's go down to the waterfall. Oh, the water is kind of sparkling too. That's cool. Oh? Helena. God bless you, Andreas. She is out gathering herbs. And so is Martha. Hi. Anything going on down here? Nope. That's the grave of the two innocents that I can't ask anyone in town about. Alright, well, you enjoy yourselves. Let's go to the Roman ruins and see if there's anything going on here. No? Well, that's cool. The sky looks really pretty. And the little owl, little hooty owl on the roof. That's cool. Alright, well, let's see what it says in our journal. I found Casper at the bonfire, but he asked to stay and watch the festivities. I didn't see any issue with it, so I told him to come back before it got too late. I should turn in for the evening and let the locals enjoy their celebration. Alright, well, I guess that's what I'm supposed to do, so I'll head back to the guest house. Is there any partying happening in the inn? Oh, the kid's gone. He's not holding up the wall. And the innkeeper is gone. Oh, but Samuel is still here. And he still has nothing to say to me. Alright, I guess I'll go to bed. It's getting late. I should get some rest. I'm kind of bummed out that I don't get to participate in the festival. I mean, I sort of did. I saw the bonfire, but not much else happened. Oh, I'm having a dream again. That's the same labyrinth that we saw in the painting in the church in town. I don't know what the point of this is, but okay. Oh, it's Sabine, my wife. What is it? What? Wait. I'll wait. Come home. I will soon. Stop bothering me. I know. I will soon. You're lying. Sometimes I think you must despise me. But maybe it's worse than that. Maybe I'm nothing to be regarded at all. What am I to you now? An annoyance? A bother? A nuisance to be ignored while you lead another life in London? Was there ever an ounce of love in your heart for me? Of course there was. This was never about love, Sabine, as much as you had for me. Oh boy. Yeah, it was an arranged marriage. I guess I'll say as much as you had for me. You can't help but be cruel, can you? What? I'm being honest. I mean, how are you supposed to love somebody you don't even know? I hate talking to you when you're like this. I'll say nothing. Fine. Go back to your work, the only thing that makes you happy. Yeah, except that I don't think work makes him happy, though. This house is so lonely without him. Stop. Your presence would only amplify the grief. Stop. Leave me alone. Leave me alone with the memory of him. Stop. Did they lose a child? Just leave me alone, just for one night. One night where I don't have to dream about him. Yeah, they must have lost a child. Thank you. Oh, that's why he's so sad. You know, as often as people lost children and loved ones back then, I guess you never get used to it. August. Oh, is that his little baby? Andreas. August. Hello, August. What am I supposed to do? Just wait here with you? I know you aren't going to say anything. What am I supposed to do? Just wait here? I suppose I can do that. Just pass the night in silence with you. I'm sorry I couldn't do anything for you. I'm so tired, August. I suppose there's not much one can do against plague. Oh, that's terrible. Do you get tired where you are? Last time I saw you, I said goodnight to you. I couldn't come to the bed, so I stood in the doorway. I just stood in the dark. You didn't say anything back, so I said it again. I don't know how long I stood there, just waiting for you to say goodnight. You still look the same age to me. I wonder if I'll ever forget your face. Do I remember your mother as she is? I remember loving her, or am I just thinking of some perversion of Daniel's portrait? So maybe he loved his wife until they lost a child and now he's just too depressed to love anyone? I'll just say that. Can you ever picture someone clearly if you love them? Can you ever picture someone clearly if you hate them? I'll go with love. I loved you, little boy. I wish I didn't. I loved you so much. I'll go with love. Sometimes I wish I could die so I wouldn't feel it anymore. Oh, this is so sad. But I can't. So I retrace my steps every night, and I find my way back to her, back to you. I love you, August. Good night. Oh man, that's deep. Alright, well now we know why Andreas has been so depressed. And why he hasn't been in a hurry to get back to Nuremberg. I think this is the real reason why everything just tastes like ashes in his mouth now. And that's probably why he didn't write back to all of his friends. What happened to this place? Oh my gosh. His mind palace is trashed. Looks like all the folks from the Ship of Fools are hanging out in here. And Beatrice is on the throne now. Where is Prester John? And where is Socrates and St. Grobian? Grobian wasn't on the Ship of Fools. Oh, Melancholia. It's not Beatrice. Won't you answer me? No thoughts for Beatrice? You're Beatrice, aren't you? Once, I was a voice of caution, of prudence. And now, more and less than caution, the ache of doubt that stiffens to paralysis, paralysis that breeds despair. Boy, am I familiar with that emotion. Melancholia. What happened to you? What happened to the others? I'll start with what happened to you. What happens to you happens to us. The foundations of this city are still moored within the ocean of your mind. Its court does not rule your mind rules the court. Once reason, curiosity, and the foolishness of youth dwelt under the aegis of your intellect. I am all that remains, the melancholy of life's autumn. But it's only June. Is that it then? How did it come to this? But it's only June. I'll say, how did it come to this? You have turned your gaze to your own dark center. You know the courses of your own life. You know how the choices you've made have brought you here. What am I supposed to do about it now? Change your life. Easier said than done, lady. Wait, I shouldn't be here. I needed to help someone. Is Casper all right? So your thoughts aren't entirely turned inward. There is still something in you that cares for others in spite of your melancholy. Perhaps there is still hope for us. Wake up, Andreas. Oh, it's still the middle of the night, and I left the candles burning? Ooh, we started chapter 5, St. John's Eve. Find Casper. Oh, that's ominous. Oh, I hope nothing's happened to Casper. But we will have to find out next time. Thanks so much for hanging out with me during this episode of Pentiment. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. All of those things help the channel and help let YouTube know that you're interested in this channel so that the AI will suggest it to you and to others. I also appreciate all of the super thanks and channel memberships that I get. They go a long way toward helping me buy games and pay for internet and all of the things that I need to share my adventures with you. Check out links in the description to find out what I get up to when I'm not playing video games. And take care of yourselves. Until next time. Bye!